Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series on our channel called The Breakdown, a series in which we will be reviewing and analyzing plays from the CDL and CDC scene, which resulted in a breakdown from another team, as well as plays we find deserve more praise from the community as a whole. In today's episode, we will be taking a look back at the checkmate control between OpTic Chicago and the New York Subliners, and how rookie Diamondcon was making game-changing plays throughout the map. But before we talk about that map in specific, we need to talk about how we got there.
Yeah, so OpTic Chicago and the New York Subliners were set to play each other in the losers bracket final of the first major of the 2021 CDL season. The winner advances to top 3, and the loser goes home, with their run ending far sooner than they would have hoped. So these teams were no strangers to one another, having played each other earlier in the first match of bracket play. So that match ended up being a really fast 3-0 and a dominant performance from OpTic, with Dashi having one of the best performances we've seen in quite some time, with a 2.13 KD and over 13,000 damage in the series. So I'll put that up on the screen right there. It's pretty crazy. I don't remember the last time someone had over a 2.0 KD in a series. So pretty crazy stuff from Dashi. And meanwhile, notably, Diamondcon, rookie, first major, does not have the best performance. But as we'll see later on, he does make up for it, or more than make up for it, in the second time they play each other. But yeah, this kind of gives us an idea of how the first map went, or the first series went. And to give even more of an idea, we have that clip from Dashi on Raid. We got to play it. It was nasty. So, yeah, here we go.
Once again, you have to check the bedroom. It's such a strong position. There's always someone there. Now you're finally going to see a seam come up from behind, try to catch out Dashi. The shots are there. The kill comes through. But Bruce, big Bruce, the biggest of Bruce's finds 2. A third kill from Dashi. That is obscene. 5 in a row there for Bruce Almighty. What a hold. You're going to see these boys keep on charging at Dashi. 6 kills. Keep them coming.
Yeah, so Dashi goes wild there and just gives a little snapshot of how the whole series went as a whole. But, they got New York has a chance of redemption. So in the second series, we ended up seeing a completely different map set. And OpTic ended up winning the coin toss, and a lot of weird maps got through and got picked. And so, for example, starting off the bat, map 1 was Crossroads, a map which New York had yet to play, and one where OpTic only played once. So not a lot of reps for either team. And the result was a really strong win for New York, where they led the whole map. And rookie Diamondcon, like I said before, he had a much better second series, and he started off really hot with 27 kills and a 1.31 KD. So he's off to a much better start. And he actually carried it into this map 2 as well. So map 2 ended up being Garrison, a map which neither team had played before. So again, weird map pick. But once more, New York cannot be stopped with a dominant 6-1 victory. And again, the rookie, Diamondcon, shot calling, making plays, ended up finishing with a 9-1 KD on the map, as well as a really nice 3-piece outside of green, which we'll show for you guys in a second.
Here we go. Diamondcon. 2 kills for Diamondcon. 1 more is Dashi. Go on, mate. Make it a 3-piece. Unbelievable stuff. Diamondcon, he's going for the ace because Formal's here. The comms are there, man. He could honestly nail this one.
There we go. Yeah, so just goes off, goes crazy. Unfortunately, does not get the ace in the end there. But he goes wild on that map. Goes 9-1. So he's off to a much better start this series, as is New York as a whole. They're feeling good. They're off to a 2-0 start and 2 pretty dominant maps, almost like a reverse of what happened in the first series. And it set the stage for a really wild and crazy map 3. So yeah, so what happened in the map 3?
Yeah, so map 3 is definitely going to be the one that when people look back at this matchup, they're going to remember this checkmate control. And checkmate control was a map in which both teams were undefeated on going into this matchup. The New York Subliners were 2-0 on it. OpTic was 3-0 on it. So, both teams, respectively felt very strong on this map. But to start off round 1, OpTic made it a priority to get control of the plane, shutting down the pushes of NYSL and doing a good job of getting mid-map control, as we'll see in Skyzo. As the Green Arrows did a good job of not only winning the gunfights in plane, but also a point as well. So moving forward in the round, skip later into the round, we see OpTic has gotten map control and are seconds away from winning the round with 6% life advantage. Scump, who's number 4, is underneath plane and decides to challenge Tube along with his team. The issue this leaves is that the Tetris/B side of the map is open, and it allows number 5 and 6, plane Asim, to challenge Scump together underneath plane, getting the kill and getting onto B point with 1 second left. Envoy ends up losing the gunfight to Mac in top lane, and Dashy and Formal come over to help, but Clay manages to beam them both underneath lane, bringing New York back into a round they had no business of being in. OpTic overcommitting by looking to A may have hurt them in this round, as the round goes on with New York committing more people to A and eventually securing that point. Now, OpTic does eventually recover and, in fact, earn a bigger life advantage of 8 in this round, so this point may be a bit moot, but it shows how these misplays by OpTic on this map, they started in round 1 to begin with, and as we'll see in this clip right here.
And for now, you just want to save those lives. NYSL, you had one decent shot at it. You made a nice bit of a dent there in the life count, but you are certainly struggling so far. Last minute contest, quite literally on the second. Clay finds 2. Lovely bit of work. We could maybe see something special here.
4 down.
You have to.
So as you see, Clay gets a nice job getting those 2 kills underneath plane. Scump decides to look over the tube, and he gets the kill on tube. So Scump did a good job. There's just a lack of communication there about where the players on the map were. Again, as I mentioned, OpTic ended up getting the kill advantage in the end anyway, so a bit of a moot point, but shows that they're making misplays early on. Now to start round 2, New York subliners, similar to OpTic, keep control of the plane and gain mid-map control, eventually pushing back OpTic deep into their spawn and causing trouble outside Tetris and even into Tube at one point. This round ends up with a 7 life advantage to NYSL. Moving on to round 3, OpTic do a fantastic job off the break getting key kills onto Mac and Clay and securing plane control off the rip, as you see number 3 and number 4 Envoy and Scump getting those kills as we show in the Gaizo. And killing number 5 and number 7, and that is a 4 down for the likes of New York. Now another key moment in this round specifically is when Scump, who's on a 6 streak and 1-off streaks, dies to Mac. This is a massive kill that changes the nature of this entire map. Had that been the reverse and Scump kills Mac, OpTic could have had a set of streaks earlier on in this map.
Sick.
This might be streaks. It might be streaks for him as well. He's 1 kill away, and you see he's playing for him too, backing up, trying to heal up while his teammates, again, just complete and utter map control. Mac, biggest one-on-one. He has won this entire game so far.
So yeah, big kill by Mac there, getting Scump off streaks. I don't think he realized how big a kill that was at the time, but that kill was big for multiple reasons. At the time Mac killed Scump, OpTic had 19 seconds left with full map control and was looking poised to go up 2-1 in the control. Keep in mind, it is very difficult to win offense in control, specifically on checkmate. In fact, I think it's one of the most difficult maps, maybe outside of Garrison, to win offense on. So in the control, as we see, Mac gets that kill on Scump, and Asim also gets a kill in plane, leaving 2 OpTic members left alive, Formal and Dashy. Now, Formal and Dashy both hunt for the kill on Asim, as you see at the end of the clip, underneath plane, and which ends up with Formal killing Asim. However, Diamondcon, who's number 7 off spawn, ends up killing both Dashy and Formal underneath plane, giving New York a path to push to 8 point, as we'll see in the Gaizo right here. See 2 and 1 being Formal Dashy and Diamondcon spawn, killing both and leaving that path open. From there, we see Clay get 3 important kills on A, whilst securing the A point. Not to mention, we see Asim now start to run around OpTic space around Wood, being an overall nuisance, as well as picking off 2 players who are looking to challenge A point, as we'll show you here. And that's number 5, which is Asim at the bottom, picking off number 1 and 2 in Dashy and Formal. So once again, from what we see is total map control with little time left on the map for OpTic, NYSL have managed to make big plays in order to secure 8 point. This is a massive play by Asim, as Asim ends up getting another 4 kills, goes on a 6 streak, and OpTic spawn being an overall nuisance and spawning OpTic out to the A Street side of the map. In addition, this allows his teammates to secure map control as well as the B point. Cannot forget throughout this, the AC machine dominance. Clay also continued his streak from 8 point up to 5, getting fully streaked out, which is very important. He does end up using his cruise missile at the end of this round, but he does get streaks, which we will see later on in this control.
Surely, 1 minute now left. It's 15-15 as the team wins a big one there. trying to just be a nuisance in this point. His job is to slay. His job is to stay alive, and he's doing it very, very well so far. Will be good to go, and he's still in this position. You could honestly see NYSL. They pushed far forward, try to get the kills, and now they're stacking up on point. Will they be able to identify something? But no, Envoy on the flank, once again, he's going to start dealing out the damage. Finds Diamondcon, quick trades come through. It could be a fast cap now for NYSL. Chance they've still got players on the point. Clay's going to lock the back down. Mac wins his 1v1 on the point as well. It's the final tick here in the round. Mac on a 5 spree. Clay's going to pop his streaks immediately, and it's a cruise missile, and it's got Scump and Dashy's name on it, but the man won't even be able to land it. Another great round.
Yeah, so this round cannot be understated. Many people will talk about the 4v11, which we'll get to as well, being a big round, but this round in specific was very big. Mac ends up on a 6 kill streak, Asim ends on a 6, Clay ends on a 5 streak to end that round, which is super impressive. NYSL end up with an 8 life advantage, giving them an overall life advantage of 7, meaning that if it had gone to the last round, good chance they're going to be on defense. And they ended up taking an offense on control, which in itself is really, really cool and really impressive. Dominant into that round. OpTic really didn't have a response and were unable to kill Asim in the end, trying to push top lane, but Clay was ready. They pushed out front, but again were stopped by Asim, and Mac and Diamond were traded out underneath the plane. This round really highlights the plays made by each member. This all started off with Mac getting off the big kill on Scump to deny streaks, followed by a big 2-piece by Diamondcon, allowing his team to push A Street, followed by a massive 3 kills by Clay to thwart OpTic's push, which we didn't show you, but if you watch the match, you'll remember that. And Asim causing havoc in OpTic space, allowing his team to capture the B point with ease. But let's move on to the last round, the one that everyone remembers. Round 4. OpTic started off this round pretty well, getting all the kills on A point and eventually picking up the last player alive in Mac, who was in the plane. As a result, OpTic managed to capture A point, giving themselves 2 minutes and 12 seconds to capture B, with lives being 27 to 23 in their favor. OpTic also managed to get a 4 down and begin to stack B point. However, they had to hop off as NYSL utilized the streaks they earned from the round prior. Again, keeping in mind those streaks that Clay got were huge in stopping this push. Now, while OpTic don't end up capturing the point, Envoy himself goes on a 6th street, earning himself an artillery. Now, this is where things get interesting. Right as Envoy spawns, he decides to invest his artillery as Dashy is pushed into plane, and Scump and Form are all stacked on the point, having secured 2 ticks already. Now, Dashy manages to kill Clayster and then later Asim in plane, and Envoy uses streaks off spawn to pick off Mac, which leaves one player, Diamondcon, who's hiding in corner on P5 to make the play. And this play, which isn't talked about enough, was the game-changing play, the game-saving play by Diamondcon, where he hides in P5 but pushes onto point after the streak goes down and kills 2 players on point, being T2P, Scump and Formal, and stopping them from capping the point, as we'll show you in this clip right here.
And Envoy,
So yeah,
streaks are out, man. He's trying to find
Envoy
these kills.
streaks it.
Keep capturing B. That's the play right now for OpTic. The streaks are going to hold them back. The artillery barrage gets it done. You managed to just get on point for Diamondcon, and he wins the 1v1 as well. Can he drain the tick? Can he keep this one safe? The contest from OpTic plays there. Diamondcon goes down to trade.
That's the clip. Yeah, as you see, very, very key moment that isn't talked about enough is that play by Diamondcon. What a massive play while streaks are going down and being the last man alive. If he dies to either of those players, very good chance OpTic's just able to cap the point and secure that round. And, at this point they're like up by 7 lives. Who knows? Maybe they get defense, and that changes the whole nature of how that map ends up going. But that play by him, the absolute balls to challenge point like that. I mean, I guess he didn't have much of a choice, but getting both kills was really huge. But as we see, trades end up going back and forth throughout the rest of the round until we get into this 4v12/4v11 situation. So we're in a situation where Asim and Mac are by plane, Scump is in the plane, and the rest of the team's on spawn for either side. Scump nearly kills Mac in plane, but makes the decision to back off and wait for help. Asim decides to hit A Street and look for players off spawn, and he ends up finding one, Envoy by A point, shooting him in the back. Now Scump tries to go for the trade out with Envoy, but ends up getting pushed by himself by Clay off spawn, leaving Formal and Dashy left, who are both by plane. Now Dashy pushes him by himself and gets picked by Mac, who is still in plane, leaving Formal left. And Formal's really in no position to trade and decides to go to get Asim on A Street, but Diamondcon, with an absolute beam from P5, is able to get him. So that is all 4 players dead, and leaving NYSL the ability to push up and secure map positioning when they're down at this point 4-7 in lives and only have 38 seconds left in the round, as we'll show you the setup right here. So this is a really nice setup. So as I mentioned, number 5 is Asim by A Street. Number 6 is Clay underneath plane. Number 8 is Mac, who's in plane. And number 7 is Diamondcon, who's by B point. So this is where things get interesting. So Envoy sees Asim A Street, who Envoy being number 3. And he sees that and he regroups with Dashy and Formal, who end up going to Tube. Now, Envoy ends up pushing up to Forklift, but ends up getting killed by Clay underneath plane, and neither Dashy and Formal are able to trade him, halting their push initially. Now, Scump, who's number 4 at the bottom of the screen, who having cleared out Tetris by this point, decides to put Hip plane by himself and gets picked by Mac, again pushing 1 by 1. Now leaving Dashy, who's at P2, and Formal, who's by their plane steps at this point. Again, OpTic's not pushing together at this time and not trading out at all. Diamondcon gets a massive kill on Envoy, who came off spawn, top NASA, as he pushes out from B point, leaving a 4v4. Finally, Dashy manages to kill Asim, A Street. However, Envoy and Scump, as I mentioned, having both been killed, are off spawn, and Formal at this point is underneath plane looking for the kill onto Diamondcon. With 10 seconds, with 10 seconds left in a 4v3, OpTic should know at this point where at least one player's in plane. You know Mac killed you in plane. You know you killed Asim on A Street. You know Clay's probably around plane, either underneath like he was before or top. And you know Diamondcon was playing B point because he pushed up to kill Envoy on NASA from B point. What ends up happening, as we'll show in the rest of the clip, is Diamondcon ends up going huge again, winning his 1v1 gunfight underneath plane against Formal. And Scump was initially going to hit B point as Formal was hitting B point, but you see Dashy call out that, hey, there's 2 top plane. You can see them plane exit, and you see Scump turn around and try and chow them. He ends up getting back in this point, but because there's such little time left, it leaves himself, Dashy, and Envoy in a tough spot where they have to rush to hill, or rush to point rather, to stop the clock. As a result, you see Diamondcon in the perfect position, able to pick off Envoy from front and Dashy from underneath the plane, as Clay gets Scump, who's inside plane, and they end up getting all 4 down. And we'll show you a 4v11 as we see it here.
They can just get that on.
Been the entry man for OpTic. Dashy fighting for his life there. Clay holding the line. The numbers there from NYSL at the back of the plane, great. Diamondcon going forward, goes up against Envoy, finds it, tags in a Formal, and again, the trades are magnificent, but that's no lives remaining for NYSL. Slow this one down. Play it sensibly. You can't be taking these engagements the same way they have been. OpTic, they're going to go for the kills here. Good push from Asim from behind. Oh my word. Pistol out. Teammates are there. Seems all good. You haven't got players there from OpTic on the point, and these streaks, they are still killing them.
This is where you see
7
me get
lives
set up.
remaining for OpTic now. 5 streak.
This was a 4v11, Miles. A 4v11.
4v11. Clay still finding kills. No one on OpTic can get a kill. No one can buy a kill. Clay gets another. Seems good for now. Mac finds another kill. There is less than 20 seconds remaining. You have to find something. OpTic can't find a single kill. Dashy finally breaks the spell. 10 seconds remaining. You have to make the contest. You got to go forward. Almost got to check these corners. Scump now taking the top lane. There's the first kill. The second, maybe, if he can grab it. No contest. Still 2 seconds on the clock. You got to go, baby. You got to go. NYSL. They land it. They stick the landing. And they complete the 3-0.
So as you see right there, again, a very strong hold by NYSL, great communication there. Again, but also poor team play by OpTic. I felt like they were taking numerous 1v1 gunfights, and, you know, you could argue if they went their way, this round is over, and that is true. But it felt like they were handicapping themselves by putting themselves in 1v1 gunfights when they could have grouped together and tried to trade out. They weren't unable to, obviously, and as a result, New York with one of the most incredible clutches of the season so far, winning that 4v11. Again, Diamondcon was the big factor in this series, and specifically that map, as we mentioned, making numerous game-saving plays. And, you know, given that this is his major debut and he was doing such an incredible job, you know, it's something that we really wanted to highlight, and something that we wanted people to put some respect on, because we feel like he's playing at a supreme level right now. So just key takeaways: heads up play by Diamondcon. Definitely keep your eyes out for him. Great job by New York subliners, and incredible play by them, making OpTic break down.
Yeah, so that'll wrap up our first breakdown, first episode of breakdown of the series. So let us know how if you guys liked it or not. This is our first time doing it, so it's gonna be a bit of growing pains. But let us know, what plays you want us to break down in the future. If you have one you want us to take a look at, but we'll keep our eyes out for different breakdowns in the future and be sure to highlight them for you. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.